Hi everyone, good to see you all again. It's Monday night, so that means it's another slow moving Hatha flow. So we're going to take it pretty easy. We're going to move through postures slowly, focus on breath, not get too excited, not get too energetic. And that's it, let's get straight into it. So let's make our way down onto the mat, guys. So if you didn't read in the comments, actually, try to make sure you have a block available or maybe a firm cushion. If you don't have one available, don't run out of the room. It's cool, we'll get through it. Anyway, let's get down on the mat, let's get to it, guys. So starting off on your backs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower yourself down. As always, take a moment to settle yourself in to your practice here. Take a moment to settle yourself into your mat. So that means just sort of shifting the hips around a little bit, shifting the shoulders. Make the space yours. When you're feeling comfortable, when you feel ready to sort of be on your back for a couple of minutes, rest your hands somewhere comfortable. I recommend having them on your lower ribs or your ribs, your upper ribs, doesn't matter. Somewhere where you can monitor your breath with your hands is really nice. And then sort of try to shift your shoulders away from your chest a little bit, so you sort of shuffle yourself outwards in both directions. Good, and then we can sort of just bring the knees in towards the midline. Lengthen the back of the neck. A little bit by little bit, start to notice your breath, guys. So without taking control of the breath, often as soon as we think of the breath, we think of taking a breath in. But we're not taking control just yet, just notice where it is. And the best thing about these slow moving classes is we're not so much in control, we're just sort of aware, which can actually be harder. So in that, maybe closing your eyes and letting yourself melt down into the mat. And I want you to visualize your spine. And I want you to visualize your spine sort of as graphically as possible. Really notice what it feels like. See if you can picture every vertebra from your tailbone running up your body. And take a moment to do this. And then notice, see if you can notice where your spine makes contact with your ribs. And see if you can notice how that relates to your breath as well. Notice where your lower ribs start to connect with your spine there. Where you breathe in, you can actually feel length in the upper spine as the ribs sort of separate. Because they don't just separate outwards, they separate upwards as well. And then I want you to lengthen the exhale a little bit. Notice the organs compress a touch. We're not fully taking control of the breath, once again, we're just discovering, or acknowledging even. And then let's do that one more time. Take a deep breath in. See if you can feel your spine inflate upwards without hunching the shoulders in towards the ears too much. That's it. And then lengthening the exhale just a touch. If you can, breathing in and out through the nose. And see if you can focus yourself just on your body here. So we've just considered the spine, and you might run your awareness out to your shoulders, your shoulder blades. You might even run your awareness down over your hips, all the way down to the heels, to the toes if you like. And just give yourself a moment to separate yourself from everything outside of this room. Let's take a deep breath in. Open the mouth, take a long exhale, just let it fall off your tongue. Imagine the whole day just spilling out as you exhale. We're going to do 2 more of those. Inhale. Open the mouth, exhale. Inhaling. Long exhale, guys. Now, normally I'll start a class with some pelvic tilts here, and we will get there eventually, but what I want you to do first is walk the heels in towards the midline. And we're actually just going to let the knees fall out to the side. So we'll work into the hips a little bit. So what I want you to do is take a deep breath in. Breathing out through the nose if you can and lengthening the exhale. We're going to bring the knees up in towards the body. Squeeze, not in towards the body, in towards the midline, sorry. And squeeze the knees together. And then we're going to inhale and separate the knees outwards. That's it. Feel the groin open up here. Feel the weight roll out onto the blades of the feet. Maybe spread the toes out, collect some air in between the toes. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, squeeze the knees together. Let's move with breath a little bit. Not worrying about it too much. Try to inflate as you inhale, so the ribs expand, the knees expand outwards. And exhale, squeezing in. Inhale. And naturally I just open my arms out to the side. That's quite nice actually, you might like to do that as well. Then exhale, bring the arms in even. You can exhale, open your arms out to the side even. And exhale. Good. We'll do that one more. Inhale if you're extending the arms out to the side, that's cool. And exhale. Let's inhale, expand outwards with the knees again. And now we're going to just let the knees sort of fall away from the body. We're going to take a couple of pelvic tilts here. So try to make sure the soles of the feet are touching. If they're not, it doesn't matter too much. And make sure you're in a sort of a comfortable positioning where your ankles are in relation to your hips. Not too far away. Take a deep breath in, arch the back, inhale. And exhale, ground down. Taking these pelvic tilts. I incorporate into the start of all of my classes. Now notice, you'll really feel how the hips sort of relate to the ball and socket here. As you ground down, then inhale, arch. Or lift through the lower back. And then exhale, grounding. Good, inhaling. And exhaling. Try not to let the mind wander. Try to be really engulfed, really bound to your breath. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. We're going to exhale. Bring the knees up in towards the body now. Let's take one sort of neutral pelvic tilt here. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze down through the lower back. Bring the knees in towards the body. Nice firm lift of the knees here. One hand to each knee. We should be pretty set up for this next movement. We'll take a deep breath in. Exhale, squeeze the knees in. Let them separate out. And then bring them back in towards the midline. This is on the inhale if you can. Always compressing slightly as we exhale. Let the tailbone lift and roll the knees out to the side. Deep breath in, exhale. Good. We're just going to let's do 3 more of those. We'll stick with just 5 or 6. Inhale. Exhale. Now I always lose count. I'm going to do 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. Final move, we're going to exhale, squeeze the knees in. Tailbone lifts. Try not to round the shoulders or collapse into the chest too much. Stay open in the chest and give yourself a gentle rock from side to side here. Remember, we're keeping the energy low. That's it. A few of those nice little movements. If you want to rock forward and back, or even lift the chin, or tuck the chin, should I say, lift the back of the head, that's cool as well. Take a deep breath in. Let yourself fall all the way down into the posture here, or into the mat, should I say. Bring the hands up under the lower back. Press yourself up into a seated position. Keeping the hands just behind the hips. What we're going to do here is you might shift the feet forward just a touch. This is sort of going to rock our weight forward into the toes. And then we're going to lift the tailbone away from the mat. So you're going to roll your pelvis forward. Then we're going to press down into the wrists. And open up over the palms, open up over the backs of the arms. And what we want to do from here is actually press the chest forward here. You should feel this beautiful big opening out over, sort of out over the shoulders, even the triceps a little bit maybe, definitely over the wrists. And you can play with the positioning of your chin as well. So you'll probably be tempted to lift the chin, but it's actually really nice to bring it in towards the throat. That's it, then press the crown of your head towards the ceiling. And then press the solar plexus, press the chest towards sort of the knees. And then counter that by pressing back into the wrists. Now take a moment to sort of observe your neck, make sure there's no pinching or tension there. And then we might just gently start to rock the right ear towards the right shoulder. You'll definitely feel this nice opening out over the left side of the neck here. Then we'll inhale, come back up. And exhale to the opposite side. You can even sort of alternate pressure in the hands there. So as your right ear comes towards right shoulder, you can press down into that left hand firmly. Coming back up. And be careful here, guys, always when working into the neck, never force anything. Try not to let yourself slouch. Keep the lower ribs pressing towards the knees if you can. Good, one more on each side. And we might even just bring the chin towards the chest here. Roll all the way over to the left ear. We might do one more of those on each side. That felt really nice. That's it. And then we'll come back up to a neutral position. Make our way up onto hands and knees. Find your way up on hands and knees there. And we'll move through a couple of these cat-cows just to warm up into the wrist, just to warm up into the shoulders a bit. We'll roll the shoulders back and press the chest forward. It's such a classic, but it's so nice. Exhale and arch the back. Inhale, press the chest forward. Exhale, arch. Just 3 of those. Once again, not worrying too much about the movement. As always, just get lost in the breath and notice as much of what's happening in the body as possible. Not how much you're doing, but how much you're observing. How much can you notice about this next movement, this next inhale, this expansion in the chest, this length in the spine. And then exhale. How much can you notice about the compressing of the abdominals and the arching of the back, the lengthening of the spine, the tucking of the chin. Inhale, let's come back to a neutral position. Now we've got this really nice, it's really interesting movement actually. So what we're going to do is extend the right leg, tuck the toes here. And don't worry, we're not going into any crazy lunging sequences or anything. We're just going to press into the heel. Stretch out over the back of the thigh there. We're also going to tuck the tailbone, so there is a lifting of the navel away from the mat, and then there's a slight lifting of the chest towards the wall in front of you. So you're getting really nice and long here. And you'll probably end up sort of locking into the knee a little bit, which is okay for now because we're not putting pressure on it or anything. Take a deep breath in. Good. Exhale. Nice. Then we're going to inhale, stay with it. And then exhale, what we're actually going to do is bring this right knee forward. That's it. And keep the toes sort of tucked under here so we're not stepping forward. We're keeping the top of the foot, just the top of the foot on the mat there. Then we're going to walk the weight back slightly till you feel this nice opening out of the top of the foot. Now handle with care here, don't get too crazy into this movement. You can play around with it a little bit. If it's the first time you've ever done it, you might get a little cramp in the foot there, you might need to sort of readjust. And then we're opening into the top of the foot, so you're almost lifting this right knee towards the right shoulder here. And then roll over and press the heel towards the mat, but lift the knee. You can even sink the weight back down slightly. Roll back over, tops of the toes, bring the weight back. It's a pretty complicated movement, so just see how you go. Let's do one more. That's it, press down through the toes, sink the hips, the weight of the hips down onto the heel. Not sitting down onto it, you can try to if you like. Take a deep breath in here, you can lift the chest. Exhale. Then we might inhale, just roll forward onto that right knee, slide back and then start on the left side. So reset here. That was a lot to take in. We'll have a go on the left side, extending the left leg. Tucking the toes and pressing into the left heel. That's it. Once again, we're not falling into the ribs. There's a bit of a lifting here and there's a lengthening of the chest as well. So we're taking it slow. We've got 5 breaths here. Sometimes it's really tricky not to rush, not to be too ambitious. It's a really nice practice to really slow things down and just observe. Long exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more of those, inhaling. Then exhale, bring this left knee forward, keeping the top of the foot on the mat and rolling the toes under there. Now hopefully you can see, hopefully my knee's not in the way there, and you can see I'm gently lifting the knee towards the left shoulder or the left chest. And it might look like this, it doesn't matter what it looks like. It might look like nothing at all, you might even have the knee on the ground. Play around with the positioning there. Give yourself a deep breath in, and a long exhale. And then we're going to swap, we're going to roll the toes over. Now I'm going to shift my foot forward slightly, you don't have to, but just so you can see there. That's it. And then I'm going to squeeze down. I'm going to sort of bring myself back into the toes there. That's it. Sort of dropping my knee slightly. Then I'll be lifting the knee on the next posture. I'll be rolling forwards. That's it. And lifting my knee towards my chest. Take a deep breath in. Long exhale. Let's do one more of those. Roll over. That's it. And press down. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Good, and I think that'll be it. So we might just come back down onto that left knee, untuck the toes, shift it back. Now guys, we're going to sink back down over the heels. You should feel nice and open in the tops of the feet here. Sink back down over the heels. Press into the palms, take a deep breath in, lift the chest, soften the elbows, lengthen the back of the neck. And exhale, spill forward. Let's do one more of those. Inhale. Exhale. Let yourself soften in now. You've got 5 breaths here. Forehead is resting on the back of the hands. Tucking the chin just a touch. If you want, you can just have the forehead resting on the mat. You don't have to have the hands there. It's entirely up to you. Take 3 breaths from here. Inhale. Take your time. Exhale. You don't have to follow my breath cues. One more inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale, feel the back of the body here. Feel the lungs press against the shoulder blades, and exhale. Good, we're going to come back up onto hands and knees. And we're going to take this really nice heart opening posture. Yasana. So, Anahatasana, sorry. What we're going to do is we're going to soften the elbows out. Just a bit, don't lock into the elbows, and you're going to reach forward, if you can, stacking the hips on top of the knees. And we're going to lower the chest towards the mat here. And you just want to feel a nice opening in the shoulders. You can rest the elbows on the mat, and that's fine. And this is really nice too, you can sort of press the tailbone towards the wall behind you. Maybe letting the forehead, the bridge of the nose rest on the mat here. If there's any pinching in the shoulders, that is not a good sign. I would come back out of the pose. And you can even just bring hands stacked on top of one another as well. If there's that will take the leverage away. That's a really nice variation. Otherwise, we're just taking a deep breath in here and a long exhale. Good. And then what we're going to do is bring the weight forward, try to lift ourselves back up. That's it. We're going to bring the right elbow down, the left elbow down, maybe sliding forward if you need to, and sinking the hips down. Good, we're going to release the hands here, point the fingers towards the wall, behind you, or to heel should I say, and let the bridge of the nose rest on the mat here. First things first, let's just get nice and long in the back of the neck. So press the crown of your head towards the wall above you or in front of you. Point the toes, take a deep breath in and let the chest lift. Let the inhale sort of inflate you enough that you just start to lift. The expansion of the chest sort of lifts you away from the mat. Then exhale, guiding yourself down. Not even worrying about the shoulders too much, we're just expanding the chest here. Exhale, lowering down. Good. Inhale, we're going to hold for 3 breaths. And if you like, you can place the backs of your hands on your sit bones there. Maybe not on the lower back, but create sort of a bit of length in the spine. If you want to sort of reach towards the heels, you can. Once again, not getting too energetic here. Deep breath in. Long exhale. Good. Inhale. Now what I want you to do is exhale, reach your hands forward, place the forehead on the backs of the hands there. Rock the hips from side to side. The hips, the heels as well, from side to side. Just looking for some really nice passive lower back release here. Perfect. Now, find a neutral position for the ankles there. Slide the hands back. Press yourself back up onto hands and knees. Bring the knees out nice and wide here. Sink down over the heels. Rocking from side to side. Taking variations. If you want to be on the elbows, you can. If you want to rest your head on the backs of your hands, you can. The knees are out really nice and wide now. So they might even be slightly wider than the mat. Good. And then come back to a neutral position. Lift yourself back up onto hands and knees. And that's it. When you believe it, the hard work's nearly over. We're going to walk the knees towards the wrists. Sink back down into a reclining position. Now make sure your block's nearby. We're going to need that in a moment. Shift forward. Deep breath in, lift the chest. And exhale, lowering down. Nice. Hands to the lower ribs here. Walking the feet out a little bit wider than the hips and just rocking over to the right hand side. Now we're just making sure that we're settling into the mat nicely here. So we're just taking a little bit of lower back release. Use the exhale to twist over to the left hand side. Take your time, inhale. And exhale. 5 breaths here. Now see if you can have almost no effort in the posture now. So the weight of the legs are really just falling. The weight of both of the shoulders are really just grounding through the mat. If the weight of your head lifts your chin, maybe rest it on top of something, like a folded towel or a block. You can let your hands fall out to wherever you like. If you want to extend them out to the side, that's cool. Final exhale. Inhale, coming back up. Let yourself fall over to the left hand side here. Five breaths, guys. Once again, let yourself fall in to what feels right for you. If that means shifting around a little bit, if that means moving your feet around a little bit, that's cool. Be passive in breath as well. We're conscious of breath and we're breathing deeply. We're not getting too aggressive or too forceful with breath. We'll inhale, come back up to a neutral position. And setting up for the next twist. This is a nice one. Let's place the right foot, or the right ankle should I say, on top of the left knee. Now if you're like me, right next to a wall, you might need to shift yourself over a bit. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to rock over to the left hand side. So your right foot might sort of come down to the ground here. You might feel a nice big opening out over the hip. This is pretty nice. You can place the hand there, you can reach out to the side, you can keep the arms reaching out, it doesn't matter too much. What I like to do is sort of press down into this right hip just a little bit, so you're sort of extending out over this right leg. Try not to let it lift away from the mat too much, but once again, staying pretty passive in the posture. Take a deep breath in and a long exhale. Coming back up and swapping sides. That's it. Left heel on top of right knee. And you're going to rock over. Should feel a nice big opening out over the hip there. And if you lift this left knee towards the ceiling, like a little bit more, you sort of stack the knee slightly, you'll feel a bigger opening in the hip. Give yourself 3 more breaths here. Really passive, guys. Deep breath in. Long exhale, lengthen the exhale. We'll do one more of those. Inhaling. Exhaling. Gently lift yourself back up here. Don't throw yourself around too much. There's a lot of weight to lift here, so coming back to a neutral position, have your block nearby or next to your right or left hip, it doesn't matter. Walk the heels back towards the body. Take a deep breath in, lift the chest, a little bit of an arch in the back there just to set up. Exhale, ground down, make sure the spine's long. Lift. Place your block underneath your lower back there. Not underneath your lower back, underneath your hips. So you want to feel your coccyx, your tailbone, resting on the block. You don't want to feel yourself sort of folding over the block at all. Now you might be on the lowest setting. If you're feeling pretty confident, you might lift it up a little bit higher. That's it. I suppose you can go right up to the top setting there, but it's not really relevant to the amount of energy we're putting into poses tonight. So we might just keep it on the first or second level. Let the hands fall out to the side. And guys, there's options here. There's options to extend the legs if you want. Make sure you're solid in the block before you do anything. Make sure your lower back isn't on the block. It has to be your tailbone, the coccyx. If you want to extend the legs, you can. You might bring it out a little bit wider than the hips and let the toes fall out to the side, which is quite nice. But please, please make sure you're feeling secure. We don't need to extend the legs. I like to imagine the energy sort of flowing up over my hips and out through my knees or through my toes, so you're sort of lengthening up over the block there. Then the upper body's sort of spilling down out over the chest. And there's this softening happening in between the shoulders and the ears. Give yourself 6 breaths here, everybody. Let the weight really fall down into the block. Allow your pelvis to really roll forward. Imagine you're trying to feel your tailbone lift away from the mat. Your pubic bone is sort of rolling in towards your spine there, or in towards your ribs. Take a deep breath in and a long exhale. One more of those. Inhale. Long exhale. Let's do one more. Inhaling. Let yourself fully melt in as you exhale. Try to make the exhale last as long as you can. And then start to walk the feet back towards the hips if you've extended your legs. Start to press down through the heels, recruit the glutes a little bit, pubic bone lifts towards the ceiling, lift the weight away from the block, settling yourself back down. Bring the knees in towards the body. Wrap yourself up in towards your knees here, give yourself a big squeeze, take a deep breath in. And a long exhale. Inhale. Unfold. As you exhale, let the legs fully extend. Let the arms fall out to the side, wherever's most comfortable. Savasana, guys. If you need to put something under your knees, that's cool if there's tension in the lower back. If you want to prop your head up on something, that's really nice as well. Get long in the neck. Get soft in the shoulders, get heavy in the hips. Try to allow some space in between the molars, let the jaw soften. Final controlled breath, deep breath in. Long exhale. Closing the eyes or softening the gaze, or finding a drishti point. Find a point to stare at if your eyes are open, to fixate your gaze. I suggest closing your eyes. And just imagine you're getting so heavy now, like the floor underneath you is almost going to crack under the weight. Like allows so much energy to ground down through the mat. Like you're so connected into the floor now, you're almost just growing roots. And your breath gets really soft. And there's no reason to be thinking, there's no reason for internal dialogue. Because the mind's so clear and so calm. We've just let it all go now. Just give yourself a few moments here of stillness. Take a deep breath in now. And a long exhale out through the mouth. Move the body around a little bit, reawaken the self. Unless you want to stay there in Shavasana, that's cool. Otherwise we'll make a slow transition up into a seated position. We'll bring hands to heart center. Take a moment of silence, a moment of stillness and a moment of gratitude. You can soften your gaze or close your eyes. Take a moment just to hear 3 breaths. And take a deep breath in, maybe opening your eyes. Namaste.